Another thing about that statement is that it mentions giving as a grace. If you look at verse 1 of 2 Corinthians chapter 8, the first verse, it says, moreover, brethren, we make known to you the grace of God bestowed on the churches of Macedonia. The bestowal of that grace, that giving, was bestowed upon them. So the giving is a gift that God gives to us. If that grace is also the grace of God that was bestowed on us, because the grace of God is a comprehensive word that contains everything that God has given to us that pertains to life and godliness, is inside the grace of God. If giving is a part of it, as is faith and speech and other things, why then is it difficult for us to give? The answer is simple. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2, and I read verse 11. It says, beloved, I beg you as sojourners and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. There is a battle. Because we have not yet crucified the flesh, there is that war. Our lusts come to the fore, warring against our spirit. And so we cannot give. We think only of ourselves. Because of that war, we lust for things. In James chapter 4, verse 1, it says, where do wars and fights come from among you? Do they not come from your desires for pleasure that war in your members? This is the same thing that Peter was saying. There is a war, there is a battle going on. Paul mentioned the same thing in Galatians chapter 5. Galatians 5, 16 and 17 or so. Let me read 17. I think Galatians 5, 17. Yes, Galatians 5, 17. He said there, he said, for the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. You desire to give, but there's a battle. Lust comes in. The flesh takes over. So until we crucify the flesh through sanctification, we are going to continually have this battle. You will discover after a while that when you refuse to give and you are holding on to those things, you can't even use them. And you start wondering, what was I keeping it for? It's because you have refused to crucify the flesh, and so the lusts of the flesh have come into war against the Spirit of God, asking you to do things, and you are refusing to do them. In 1 Timothy chapter 6, from verse 9, I think verse 9 and 10, it says, but those who desire, these are fleshly lusts, those who lust or those who desire to be rich, fall into temptation and a snare. The desire to be rich is not from God. Let me tell you the truth. It is not a godly desire. It is a fleshly lust to be rich. They fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and harmful lusts. They put these things, they desire along with foolish and harmful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money, the lust after money. Some people think it's just a desire for, no, it's more than that. It's a lust. Lust is something that you cannot control. It controls you. So there's something that controls us for money. You see it everywhere today. People will not do anything except you pay for it. Even to help you, they're looking at you for money. The reason why you have policemen collecting bribe on the road is because of the lust of the flesh. Nothing more than that. It is the spirit of Satan attached to somebody, and it is forcing you, pushing you, propelling you not to do what is right, to lust for what you will not even use. The policeman who's collecting bribe on the main road has forgotten that the transporters and the market women that he's collecting bribe from, they are still going to that, his wife is going to that market to buy from that place. So they factor in all these monies they've spent on the road into the cost of goods. It affects even him. And you see him continuing to desire more and more, but he is the root cause. And the culprit, the chief culprit, is lust in us. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. That is where it starts from. When you hear that a man pounds his child in a mortar for money, a woman kills her mother for money, it is lost. A boyfriend takes his girlfriend to a herbalist so that they can turn her into something for money. That is it. For which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. This is a problem in Christendom, particularly amongst those pastors who think that teaching on giving in an unscriptural manner is a good thing. Who embark on projects that God has not asked them to do, and now they must be begging and be prodding and be cajoling, intimidating, threatening people on the matter of giving. That is not what it is about.